we welcome right now Prime Minister Justin.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I need to start by thanking my extraordinary friend, Tom Pitfield, who I have known since he was, I have known since I was 3 years old, and he's 4 years younger than me, so you can do the math. He has been a true friend and someone with whom I have shared many conversations about values and many, many drinks during conversations about values. And to see the work he's done on Canada 2020 and pulling people together at this extraordinary event, and for the extraordinary events that Canada 2020 and the entire team do, it really is a pleasure for me to be here tonight with all of you. Merci Tommy, merci tout le monde. My dear Canadian friends, my dear friends of Canadians, it's wonderful to see so many people here tonight to celebrate this extraordinary friendship between our two countries. Ours is a long history of countries that are young and yet surprisingly older than most successful democracies in the world right now. We share so much in terms of values, in terms of perspectives, in terms of priorities, with just enough differences to keep us on our toes on either side of the border. This is truly a time when a lot of people are talking politics, not just here in the United States or in Canada, but all around the world, and looking for a way to face the very real challenges that the world is throwing at us, be it climate change, be it stalling the middle class, being it wrapping our minds around the globalisation that is both extremely challenging and rife with opportunities. And as we tread our way through a rapidly pivoting world, it becomes easy to become fearful. It becomes easy to turn in on ourselves. But we know from history that it's much more important to turn outwards and to draw out the best of each other, and to understand that whenever people get together, regardless of how different they may seem, there are always more things that we have in common than that differentiate us. The challenge of making politics function, and even making governments function at a time when people are cynical and disengaged, remains real. And I've had a lot of people point at our election, which was encapsulated in very, very rosy views in that video, and thought that was it. Canada's an all happy place, and everyone's progressive, and everyone's a feminist, and everyone hugs pandas all we have real challenges, just like every other country around the world. We have good days and bad days. We have voices that are pulling us in all sorts of different directions, including our own voices and voices of our friends. And the challenges we face now as citizens of our countries, as citizens of the world, is to realize that the interconnectedness of this world means that no one can pretend we're in a silo anymore. Nous devons comprendre que toutes nos différences doivent devenir source de force et non de faiblesse. The biggest challenge that we face in a world of globalization, of migrations, of refugees, of people traveling for work, for play, for discovery, is that identity is now much more free-flowing than it ever was. Finding out where you belong is much more important to figure out your values and the values you share with your neighbors than looking at histories and biographies and religion and language. And that challenge to look with a clear eye to the future and know that the challenges we're facing now are no greater than challenges our countries have faced down successfully in the past. But to know, too, that if we are going to be successful in the coming years, the entire world needs this continent to be at its very best, to be at its most generous, to be at its wisest, to be at its most innovative. to learn to lean on each other, to learn to draw from the populations that have come here from every corner of the planet to build a better life for themselves and their future. And to know that there is much to be optimistic about in this future that we walk together on. And I think as we look to all the challenges we're facing, a model for the world can be this tremendous friendship between Canada and the United States that has defined both of our countries. The way two countries that are very different people, very different perspectives, can draw from each other, can challenge from each other, can grow together, is truly one of those examples that we need to build on for the world. Et ce soir, on est ici pour célébrer cette amitié, pour célébrer le travail que nous avons fait ensemble et le travail que nous allons continuer de faire ensemble. Et ça se représente bien dans les conversations que nous avons et dans les nouvelles rencontres que nous faisons ensemble. The work we do tonight is the best work of all, of getting to know each other, of learning from each other, of making new connections, of building the kind of future together that always, in the 21st century, must be shared. That's what this is all about. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Thank you for being here tonight. But I would be tremendously remiss if I didn't point out as a good feminist that behind every successful man is an astonished woman. Let me introduce you to Sophie Grégoire. So happy to be here. Merci.